This is a lot of boxes that I just got in from CGC. 5 boxes. 5 boxes. Most of them were sent in the same shipment to them, except for this box. This box is the Guess the Grades box that I sent to Mr. Gary Kendra, independent presser. I got them from Toy Radiation. And I threw a couple books in there that I didn't show in the Guess the Grade because they were already graded 9.0s, but I'll go through them. And most of these books right here anyway, that I sent to Mr. Kendra, were gotten in YouTube auctions, and I will reveal the sellers and what they claim the grades were, not to embarrass them or anything like that, but just to show you guys that, you know, people are human and they make mistakes and stuff, and maybe some of them, I'm hoping, are going to come back higher grades than what they predicted. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know any of the grades for these boxes. No grades. But I do have bad news. This box right here should be the value tier, economy tier that I sent Fantastic 448 and a Tomb of Dracula number 10 that I paid a lot of money for both of those books for. And I went on CGC. This is the first box I'm going to open. This one has similar bad news as well. This one is a value tier. But when I went on CGC just to see if they were being prepared, if they were ready, and they had a denotation. They weren't in grading yet, but they had a denotation. One of the books had a denotation on it that said C1. The other one had a denotation that was universal. I've never seen the C1. I always see the denotations as universal. I've never received a book that's been restored ever, and I'm pretty sure these 2 boxes are going to have 2 restored books. This one is going to be devastating because I paid almost $1,000 for that book, and I'm into it now with this pressing. $1,000 on that book. So I don't know what the grade is, but the denotation that they had on that book, which is Fantastic 448, was C1. And it is consistent with restoration. I just don't know what type of restoration. I did have a book in here, Marvel Team Up number 1, that also had a denotation that I hadn't seen, and that's B1 instead of universal. And I do believe that that is restoration as well. Now, I don't know what type of restoration it's going to be. If it's trimming, I can't do anything about it. And if it's it has to be like light color touch or anything like that, and I'll have to send it back, and I'll go through the reasons why and stuff once I open it up. Tomb of Dracula needs to be a really high grade for me to even break even on this. But these are mistakes that people make, and I'm going to tell you a story about that once I open it. You know, shame on me. Shame on me. All right, guys, time to start opening. I'm going to make different videos for different boxes. And I have a keeper pile, which is right there. This is my keeper pile. Look at that. Jessica Cruz. 50 bucks. Can't beat 50 bucks, guys. Look at this. I want you guys to see this. Look how freaking gorgeous this is. $50 on eBay. That is gorgeous. Jessica Cruz. But these containers I got from Exchange Collectibles, who they don't know who the hell I am, by the way. This is the second time I mentioned them in my videos, but they do have good products. And this pile right here is, these are going to all be sold. Actually, these are also all going to be sold, but they're going to get regraded first. These are the ones going to CGC to get regraded. These will be going to CGC because they're all high grade. So some of these I went through on some videos as well, but these are all high grades, and they're going to be going to CGC to get regraded and reslabbed. But anyway, this is the selling pile. This is the keeper pile. Matter of fact, I think the selling pile, I'm going to just keep them in the same boxes here. All right, time to open. Voila! So I had the billing invoice removed. I haven't looked at the grades. I'm actually looking away a little bit here. I'm expecting really, really bad news here, though, guys. I mean, super, super bad. I think I'm gonna, because I saw the blue label on this one, I'm gonna open up the bad news and get rid of the bad news first. Awful. I'll tell you the story on this book too. Yeah, it's restored. Look at that, restored. C1, baby. C1 is restored. So let's look at this book first. I already know what the restoration is. This is a book that when I bought it, it had a stain. And I thought that stain was candy. That stain is right there. I thought that stain was candy. But it's not. So the book itself is not a bad looking book. I bought this book for $850, but because of, and this is what I've talked about before, and I talked about this with Miles Morales. Once you start paying like taxes and shipping, it just blows up the price of the book. So from like $850 and then taxes, and it went over $900 on this book because of shipping and taxes. So I ended up, and then now with the pressing and the grading, I'm in close to 1,000 on this book. You could say I'm in like 1,000 really on this book. I'll do the numbers and everything, but here is the restoration. Matter of fact, I'll show the grade. The grade is 4.5. It is slight, and that's good. I'm gonna find out how much they charge for restoration. This is restoration. Small amount of color touch on cover. That's good. Slight. So it can be removed, but I'm gonna have to pay more, and I don't know what they charge. So on this book, I was thinking about selling this book. Now I can't sell this book restored, because you know what happens? They're gonna get it for a super cheap price, then they're gonna break it out, and then they're gonna sell it again. And not everybody will do that, all right, but I can see people doing that, and I'm just not gonna be cheap. I'm gonna throw more loss into this book, send it out, and get that color touch taken care of, and have them regraded. Probably come back at a much lower grade. Hopefully I can get a 4.0 out of it. And this book is a book that's going to keep rising in value anyway. This is a grail, and this will continue being a grail no matter what. So I won't lose money on this book. I was hoping that it wasn't trimmed, because once it's trimmed, I can't do anything about it. Can't do anything about trimming. But slight restoration, slight color touch, that can be taken care of. I showed this book before and the pages were great. Here's the story about this book. when I bought this book, the seller on eBay didn't disclose that this had that stain. Again, I thought that stain was like candy. I never ever thought that would be restoration, and it has to be restoration because there's nothing else on this book. I don't have a blacklight. Maybe I should invest in it, but even with a blacklight, I think it would come out like if it's restoration. How can that be though? Like, whatever. You know, this is the reason why. You know, when you hear people saying, "Oh, you know, they don't like slab books." Well, this is the reason why you want to get your Grail slab. This is one of the reasons. The other reason is because it provides protection for it and from the elements and I mean, there's plenty of reasons though, but I dropped this book, and I've said it before. I've dropped this book. Yeah, the case might break, but the book is going to be fine. You know, you get it graded by a professional, and they will find if it's restored. This pays for itself because you know, for a buyer, the buyer should know that this is a restored comic book. I'm not going to sell this to somebody. I'm not going to break this out. I could easily break this out and resell it and probably get my money back or even get more money out of it. Because I can put it out and say that this is in very good condition, which it is. It's VG, right? But how messed up would I be for doing that, right? And then I could resell it to you know to somebody restored. I can. I mean, I'll get a lesser grade, but I'm not putting any more. I mean, a lesser amount of money, but I'm not putting any more money into the book, right? But then what happens? Whoever that person may be might just break it out and then resell it and make a couple $100 out of it, a few $100 out of it, you know? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spend the extra money, get that restoration out. I will show you guys the book, and I'm going to keep it because it's a Grail, and I'm going to keep it. So this will join my 8.0. Whatever grade it comes back, you guys will see it though. But this is a bummer, big time, big time. I'm gonna find out how much that costs. I'll post it obviously for you guys. All right, haven't seen the grade on this one either. I have a few copies of this book, quite a few copies of this book. This is another book that I could lose out on. I still haven't seen the grade. I'm going to see the grade. I'm concentrating on my camera here. This book was put in as near mint plus by the seller on eBay, and the pictures look like they was near mint plus. Ended up paying a lot of money for this book with taxes and everything. Ended up paying like $1,400 for this book. But with taxes and fees, the book came out. Oh man, they didn't even. That doesn't look like it was clean. Maybe it was just too hard to get out. But with taxes, look at that. It's actually not bad. Except for that's actually pretty dirty. This was the thing that I was afraid of right there, right? With taxes and everything, this came out to $1,500 and change, and then now plus the grading, I'm in on this book a lot. And again, this is also a book that if I hold on to this book long enough, I won't lose money if it doesn't come back in the 9s. But I need this book to be a 9.4, and I don't think this book is a 9.4. Look at that. I gotta say though, you know, with older books, they're hard to clean, and I'm pretty sure that they don't want to damage the book. I can't kill CCS because they did clean the one book that I got a 9.8. on, and they cleaned that one really well. This book comes out as a, ouch. Oh my man, you know, you win some, you lose some, and this is two big losses, guys. Two big losses, at least for the moment. At least for the moment. Tell you guys a quick story though, and I kind of touched on this before. When I bought a raw copy of Hulk 181, one of my 8.5s. I bought it at the time for a near mint price. By the time it came back to me from CGC, I forget about what I thought about CGC at the time and what they did to the book. But by the time it came back to me, it was a 7.5 book. That was not near mint. So I paid $700 plus the grading fee. There was no pressing back then, so I didn't press, right? But that was a loss, and it ended up being a pretty big loss, probably because I was in about $750 with all the shipping, and you know, probably about $750 for a 7.5. And at the time, a 9.4 was probably going for about that much, you know. But that book is much higher now. Plus, I sent it back to get pressed and regraded, and it came back an 8.5. So just because this book is an 8.5 right now, and I'm at a loss on it, big time, doesn't mean that this is still going to be a loss, say 10 years from now, if I decide to hold it. And the same goes for that one as well, once that comes back. But I am going to throw more money into that. This one's going to stay like that though, 8.5. That is, you know, I always preach, always bid much slower, but so, you know, sometimes you gotta wonder if these people, like on eBay, they post they post pictures and maybe they Photoshop them. I do wonder that sometimes, you know. Oh yeah, the story about this book. Here's the story about this. When this came back to me, and it was and it had that stain right there, right? I complained to the guy, but he didn't respond back. So he also didn't package it well, and I tried reaching him a few times, never responded back to me. And I filed a complaint with eBay. When I filed a complaint with eBay, eBay took about, I think, 10 days or 2 weeks. And then they found in my favor, and all I had to do was return this book to him, and I would have gotten all my money back. But as soon as they responded in my favor, he responded back to me, and he said, oh, you know, my daughter was in the hospital. I've been going through a lot of things. I have health issues myself, and I'm sorry. Can we work this out? And he gave me like a sob story. And this is where I say that this is my fault, right? Because I bought it. I bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. You know, why would somebody talk about their daughter? I'm thinking, like, you know, it's like the guy was really apologetic about it. He said he would pay me back, but he couldn't sell anything because of my complaint or whatever. And he didn't want to be kicked out of eBay. And I removed my complaint, and as soon as I removed my complaint, he stopped communications with me. And then I tried talking to eBay, and eBay said, once you remove the complaint, it's done. You know, like once they ruled in my favor. I was an idiot to not send this book back. You know, I could have bought 4.5 for probably about $1,100, you know, with shipping and taxes. Now I'm left with this, you know. But just be careful. I know I always preach also too about bidding on books lesser than what the sellers say that the book is. This time though, in both of these books, I didn't do that, and I tend to go back on my procedures that I try to follow myself, because sometimes like the pictures just look so good that maybe I think, you know, I was thinking like both of these books, I thought this book was going to be like a 5.5 based on the pictures, and I thought this book was really going to be like a 9.4 or a 9.6, but look at that, it's 8.6. Now that's based on the pictures. Once I got them back, I actually told the guy, I said, look, this isn't even like this with the pressing. I thought I might have been able to get a 9.2 if they were to clean it well, but they weren't able to clean it well, and that little ding right there was just too much. Let's go to the next one. This is really beginning to be a bummer. I got a feeling I'm gonna open the rest of them up tomorrow, but I'll open this one up. This is the one that had the B1 denotation. That was C1. I wonder what B1's gonna be. The one that had the denotation of B1, I got it from a seller on YouTube, reputable seller too. I'm not gonna name his name. I'm going to take that book out first. Marvel Team Up #1. Oof. The other thing was... I saw the grade already. I don't know what the... it is restored. The other thing was that this seller also overgraded it. The seller said that he thought it was a near mint condition, and when I got it back it wasn't. But I didn't, this one doesn't hurt as much, really doesn't hurt that much, because I didn't pay much, and it was a 2-book lot that I bought from this seller for $69. And I'll show you the grade. Slight restoration 7.0. Small amount of color touch on cover. Oh, okay. Wonder what the deal is with B1 and C1. If it's not, nah, you know what? It's not even worth it. This book's not, I don't think it's worth it, especially at a 7.0. It's not even worth to re-slab. This will probably stay in my collection. I'll probably end up breaking this off of this and just keeping it as a reading copy. How the hell, why would you restore this freaking thing? Who the hell would restore it? You know, it's another thing that I can't really blame the guy for, the seller that sold it to me, is because I missed the restoration. I missed it myself, you know. I don't even know where the hell the restoration would be. You would need that black light. Like I said, I've never received books that were restored. I've never had a restored book. Never have I ever planned on getting a restored book, or even buying a restored book. Ever. It's never been my thing, you know. I don't care how cheap it is. Like, I just wouldn't do it. Where the hell is the restoration, man? It's there somewhere, though. They're saying it's restored. It's restored. I wanted to have this one. I wanted this one to be in my keeper pile, actually, because it brings me back to Spider-Man. I read this book in that comic shop when I was a young kid. This is one of the books that the old man would let me read, but I could never afford. So I read it in the comic shop, and I always wanted it. And when I got this book from the seller, I was like, you know what? If it's near mint, if it's a 9.0, I'm gonna put it. Even you know what? I think even if it was like an 8, even at a 7.0, I probably would have kept it. But man, this hurts, man. It'll be kept as a reading copy though. Reading copy for the kids, for my kids whenever they have kids. All right. So this is the value tier. Let's go to another one. What's this one? What's this one gonna be? Let's put this one. Take this one out. Oh, ToD Dracula. Okay. This was a value tier. This one's one that I also paid. It was 2 books. I bought this one and OMAC. They were both together, and with taxes and fees, came out to like $560. $565 I think was the final price with shipping and all that. So I thought this one can come back at a 5.0 or 5.5, which I would be fine with, right? And this should make that grade, man. I actually thought that this could reach a 6. Be happy if it would reach like a 6.5. But it's got a lot of tanning on the cover, a lot of foxing, and it, like I said, older books are harder to clean, and I think CCS just doesn't want to damage the book so much as another presser might be able to press it better. Let's look at the grade. The good thing is that it's blue. 5.5, and you know what? That's great, man. That's great, because this pays for both books. This will pay for both books. And with books like this, these are books that are just gonna keep going up in price, you know. I'm still bummed out from the from those other grades though. Still bummed out on them. Let's go to the next one. Alright, this should be the OMAC then. That's OMAC. Good old Kirby, baby. The next book's going to be a Kirby book as well. This book was really nice, and this was a throw-in for that ToD Dracula. This was a real nice looking book. I thought they would clean it a little bit better again, but come to think about it, they did clean it. I don't remember if I showed this book or not, but it was, for a white cover, it was a little bit dirty. Nah, actually, you know what? They did a nice job cleaning it. They did a nice job cleaning it and pressing it. Nice book, Kirby. If you guys haven't figured out, I freaking love Kirby. Who doesn't, man? If you're into comics, how are you not gonna love Kirby? They did a nice job. I gotta say, this is freaking beautiful. This is a freebie, because the 5.5 ToD Dracula pays for this. You know? Let's see. 9.8? 9.6? I'm still bummed out, man. Oh, not for this though. Just for that. For the freaking restored grades, man. Damnation. Alright, get the next one over. This one's another Kirby. This one I've been collecting again, man. Ugh. Could have sworn that this could have been cleaned better, but yeah, some of those smudges you can't get those out. Can't get those out unless you're gonna damage the books. This one, I was really hoping for like a 6.5 on this baby. Really hoping for a 6.5. But for the amount of money that I paid for it, I only paid like a little bit over $100 for this book. And I have a few of these. I've been hoarding this book for a while. Yeah, you know what? Look at that right there. That's, you look at a book real close, you see the defects on it. This will not be a 6.5. All right, let's look at the book. But look at that cover, baby. That's got great presentation, though. I showed this book on a video. Off-white pages 6.0. I'll take it. I will take this book. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. Those are the 6 books. Damnation. I'm bummed out. Like you wouldn't believe. I ain't opening these yet. I'll open those tomorrow. But damn, I hope I have better news tomorrow. Damnation. Oh, the numbers. Let's go to the numbers. Let's go to the videotape. Alright, so here's the numbers. So for the 4 that were on the value tier. Now the Tomb of Dracula and Nomak were bought together. For the 4 books, cost a total of $234.80 to grade and clean. That's a total of $58.70 per book, including shipping to me from CGC. Now, because I sent all of those together, like all of these, including the modern tiers, to CGC, my shipping to CGC is less than $1. So it's probably around 70 cents. Might be even less than that. But I'm gonna say it's 59. We're gonna go with $59.50. You want to make it an even $60 just for the hell of it. So it's an extra $60 per book for the value tier on these books, which is, it's not so bad. Now, once you get a different presser, that value will go down, and I expect that to go down once I get to Mr. Kendra's pressing books that I sent to him. The 2 big losers for me, these are the losers that just keep losing. Fantastic 448 and Tomb of Dracula. Total $184.60 for the pressing and the grading, and that's in the economy tier, and that's a total of $92.30 per book. Make it $93. We're gonna make it an even $93 per book. More loss on that. More loss. Listen, guys, you are going to win and you're gonna lose in this game, and this is a big time loss, guys. Big time loss. But you could see now the risks that you take when you bid for books. That's why I always say, do as I say, not as I do. That's what I tell my kids. That's what I'm gonna tell you guys. I freaking overbid on these things, man. And I had that Tomb of Dracula. I mean, that Fantastic Four. I had that win. All I had to do was send that book back to this dude. But he gave me a sad story, and I fell for it. And I got scammed. That's how you can get scammed on eBay. By the way, though, eBay ruled in my favor. That's why I like selling and buying on eBay. It's a little hard to scam people on eBay, unless you're a sap like me. All right, guys. Have a good night. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have better news for myself with the moderns and the Kendra books.